My name is Malachi Kneifsel. I'm a center manager up here at the Texas Tech Rec. What that means is I oversee day-to-day activities, and I am over staff members up here, and we make sure that the building runs smoothly. And a pretty good job. It's fun. It's very easy, and it's a nice job to have whenever you're a student, because our boss Lindsay is very helpful when it comes to needing off for school projects and things like that. Our shifts are only 3 to 4 hours, so we're not here very long. But when we're here, it depends on the times. If you're here during the midday, usually kids are at school and stuff, so you don't really have, it's really dead in here, so you really just have to find things to do to keep yourself busy. If it's during a busy time, like the 4 to 8 shift or even the 8 to midnight, that's when it's going to be very busy. A lot of stuff can happen from that during those times, whether it just be you're running back and forth taking care of different things, or whether it be patron issues where sometimes you have patrons who want to fight each other up here and you have to go handle that. Sometimes you have patrons who hurt themselves and you have to take care of that and make sure EMS gets called or whatever you need to do for that situation. I've only been a center manager for a semester. I've been here while EMS has been called, but I have not actually had to call them. It depends on if the patron wants you to call EMS. So they could have a broken arm and say they don't want EMS, and if they say they don't want EMS, you can't call them. But some of the times I've been here whenever it's been called is a kid twisted his ankle and it was swollen and he was freaking out about it, so we called EMS for him. Another time was maybe like a dislocated finger and the person doesn't want to pop it back in themselves, or they can't pop it back in themselves. One of the main ones that we've had this semester and last is we have a student who comes in and has seizures pretty much every single time he comes in, and every time he has a seizure you have to call EMS no matter what he says, because he has it often, and they're pretty bad seizures. Some of the craziest things that have happened up here is we have the guy with the seizures who he has pretty bad seizures all the time. Sometimes he'll start seizing up and fall and hit his head on something, and you have to make sure he's okay and get something under his head. One of the other things is we had one of our center managers actually get punched in the face by a patron because the patron snuck in, and when he went and told him that he wasn't allowed to be in here because he didn't have a membership, the patron got angry and ended up punching him in the face. I have a whole bunch of female center managers up here, and a lot of the times the patrons will give them hard times just because they feel like they can push them around a lot easier. And a lot of our female patrons our female managers have actually been threatened by male patrons, not only about them but about like their significant others and things of that nature. So it's a lot of honestly childish people up here, and it gets pretty heated sometimes, and not all the time, but sometimes you have patrons who will be very rude and make it hard to do the job.